What's up, guys? I am Skyler from CultureShockShop.com, owner of Culture Shock Clothing and Records, huge vinyl connoisseur, lover of music, and thank you for watching our Vinyl Happy Hour video series. Tonight's a little fun, special, different one, kind of for Memorial Day, and also just kind of talking about some stuff that's happening with Rocktober in May. I know, it's strange. There's some really cool Craftwork records, though. And we were talking about what can I do to mix in a German drink, because I don't really have any German spirits. And my buddy Mike was looking up, evidently Germans besides Guinness and what's that other drink? Oh, a bunch of drinks, Jaeger and stuff. Also like creamy liqueurs. So I'm drinking some coffee liqueur tonight with my Vinyl Happy Hour. It's about as German as I could get, honestly. But we're going to actually be doing a double dose of videos again this week because there's a lot of really great things coming out for the new releases this week and some indie store exclusives. But I'm going to backtrack to something that we got last year for Rhino's Rocktober releases, but then went out of stock for months. And now at the end of May, we are finally getting more of the limited color vinyl releases from the Kraftwerk catalog. If you don't recognize this album, I'm in the same boat with you. This is a release from Craftwork that you don't usually see because they're doing more of the German versions. I have an original copy from my personal collection. This is what the Autobahn record looked like. So it's very different looking on the original. But with these reissues, there's 7 albums, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of all of them. They did a great job with the pressing. I noticed that they're all made in Germany, and they do give you a booklet with each one, and the inner sleeve actually has the artwork of the original American pressing album. And each album has different color vinyl. But they did a great job with the packaging. The sound, of course, is great. And the booklet has tons of pictures and tons of other info from some different Craftwork releases and some photos and other images that I haven't seen on any other American release before. So it's really cool to see these. These are all at least available now, or the repressings have finally made it back into stock. And we have them at CultureShockShop.com. So in the link below in the video description, check out the staff picks. Anything that's still in stock is available there. And of course, you can stop in the store and pick them up. And if you want to find out about things like these coming back into stock or limited releases, make sure you subscribe to the channel, please, and ding that bell too so you get a notice when we do new videos. I won't ding a real bell, don't worry. That was my idea. But anyway, so there's the Autobahn one. I want to also show you, not only is the artwork different, and the first time I've ever seen any of these albums on color vinyl. I mean, I'm not talking about bootlegs and stuff like that because there have been some, but this is the Man Machine album. Autobahn's probably one of the most well-known albums and seems like kind of easy to get into. If you haven't listened to Craftwork, Autobahn's a great place to start. They've been made fun of a lot over the years just because of their strange mannerisms and strange music. They are some of the pioneers of electronic, krautrock, industrial, experimental music. Very early formed in Germany in actually late 60s. They actually had a sound that was different than any other group at the time. They used all, well, as you can see here on the back of this, all electronics. They used electronic drums, synthesizers, sound scopes, oscilloscopes, all sorts of strange devices to make electronic music. They were definitely ahead of their time. These releases all have a little sticker that says Special Color Edition Vinyl. There's even some German versions that have additional posters and stuff with them. So these are the made for the US market versions. And each album has its own booklet with all kinds of additional information, photos of the whole group. Sadly, we have lost some of the founding members of the group, did pass away here in the last couple of years. Just a really cool, nice, thick booklet, lots of information. Lots of great pictures, and the artwork's cool to see some of the original versions, how they were released in the European market. Obviously, you can see a big difference from the original ones, which we usually see in the US. The other reason I'm really interested in getting these is because finding originals in mint condition is so hard. I didn't show the record on this one, but all of the artwork is matching to the color of the vinyl. So each one's a different color vinyl. We'll just kind of do a quick peek on them. I find it really interesting, though, how influential this band has been. You know, I was teasing Jared earlier, actually, he was listening to Lady Gaga at the store, and I was like, these guys are some of the purveyors of dance music, really. A lot of early synthwave, a lot of, well, let's get that booklet out, too. So this is the only double LP, but a lot of early synthwave industrial music is really kind of influenced by these guys. And of course, you know, a lot of other rock music and stuff too, adding electronics and stuff like that. This one matches the artwork on the cover too, and they actually did a blue and red one for the Tour de France. I have an original EP version of that too, kind of showing that off. This one you don't see very often, so really glad it got reissued. These are all like 180 gram vinyl too, so they're thicker vinyl. But for me, what was really influential, the reason I got into them was Skinny Puppy, Nine Inch Nails, a lot of groups like that really kind of were influenced by Kraftwerk. Of course, even, you know, your Mobies and all this other stuff too, and all your DJs and stuff like that too. These guys though, they always kind of spoke and sang in a very kind of simple English way. They didn't really consider themselves musicians, so they always had some very kind of, you know, mixture of videos and mixture of kind of this very kind of, what do you want to call it, that kind of clinical sense almost. They considered themselves technicians more than musicians. They were actually doing this stuff to perfection and using their instruments in a way, but not like a band, using them as technical instruments. But I just love to see how many people were influenced by their music. So the other thing too, original versions of their albums are getting so hard to find in mint condition, and I find myself really distracted when I listen to an original album if there's any flaw or blemish in it. These both, I believe, are on yellow vinyl, so we'll just kind of pop them out. This is another one. I didn't have my original one handy, but this one here, the Radioactivity one, this is what the original cover, the artwork looks like on the US version, so you've probably seen this one before. And you got some radioactive yellow vinyl for this one. Just the Geiger counter is the first track, and Radioactivity is a great one too. I love that this one not only talks kind of about radioactivity as in the nuclear aspect of it, but radioactivity, activity on the radio, different music and stuff like that. These guys were so different when they took over this kind of pioneered sound that nobody else could get the name that Kraftwerk had. I think that's why Kraftwerk is so referenced by things. They were just doing something that was so different. Nobody could explain it. It was different than any music that was around. Even when they were earlier on, their first couple of albums, which are not in print right now, are a lot more kind of minimal and repetitive and more of what we call a krautrock kind of sound, which is not derogatory. That's what was describing of a lot of that kind of German music, that they kind of created a whole new sound that was different. It did have somewhat of a jazz background, but it also just had an experimental background. They weren't just making regular rock and roll. But yeah, it's just so fun to see the booklets on these two, and that strange how the pressings and everything else has been kind of running off date right now with coronavirus affecting so many things. Trans-Europe Express, that's another one that they did on clear vinyl though. So we'll just kind of show off the vinyl and the inner sleeve on these. If you order them, you know, you can check out the booklet. Right now, all 7 of these are in print and in stock. I don't know how long that's going to last though, so get them if you can. This one is probably one that a lot of people don't like for some reason, but this was actually one of the first ones I got into. It's one of their later albums. I forgot the date offhand. I want to say mid-80s, maybe 85 or 86. Isn't that even possible that it was that late? Most of the other stuff was early and mid-70s. So this is kind of a semi-translucent, kind of a milky clear vinyl. This one to me is their danciest one. This one is very industrial, dance heavy, very still kind of a strange, sparse album, but I think hugely influential to that dance scene before it even happened. Keep in mind, these guys started doing stuff 20 years before a lot of industrial music became a thing and electronic music became a thing. So they were, I think, a big kind of a forefather of some of this type of music. Also, you know, I can throw in some of the Gary Newman and some of that kind of stuff too. That music definitely took an effect of that as well. But how weird that these came out in October of 2020, and now at the end of May in 2021, they're finally back in stock. I didn't think they were going to be around. I should mention also another Rocktober release, who also, oh, there's a band on this album, the Crow soundtrack. This is finally back in stock. I don't know for how long, but we didn't have them for a long time. So for me in the 90s, when I got into the Crow soundtrack especially, this is how I found a lot of bands I like. This is also in the link in our staff picks now. If you need to pick up a copy, get it while it's around. But The Cure, I could definitely say, took some influence from Craftwork. Even Machines of Love and Grace, definitely Nine Inch Nails, and definitely, I forgot to mention, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. a lot of people, that's the first time you heard those bands was on this soundtrack. But this was part of Rhino's Rocktober releases. This one, I think these last pressings though, don't have this little Rocktober sticker. Maybe they ran out of them. They probably didn't think they need Rocktober stickers in May. Doesn't make any sense, but nothing in vinyl right now makes sense. Everything is either running late or jumping up in price or something crazy is going on. So there you go. That's some Craftwork. I have one more thing though, a new release that I want to talk about that's a reissue. And then we're going to do a special video tomorrow, like another Memorial Day kind of weekend video talking about some other new releases. But Fueled by Ramen, the record label that has tons of classics, is doing a limited reissue of some of their albums celebrating the 25th anniversary, not of this album or of the band, but the record label's 25th anniversary. So, classic Riot album from Paramore on silver vinyl. There's also, what band was I just talking about? Oh yeah, Panic at the Disco had done a release too on this label with the colored vinyl pressing. I'm not gonna try to sing it again. I drew a blank on the name of the band and I was like, shut up. Anyways, studio audience quiet here, laugh tracks. Also, there is a Fall Out Boy album that is supposed to be coming out. Again, sometimes these pressing things are either getting delayed right now. Most things, luckily, are getting done in time, especially for Record Store Day coming up. I'm just going to give you one little baby sneak peek, an actual baby sneak peek. Look at this little 3-inch record. We're listening to some Czarface and MF Doom. This is the Metal with Metal 3-inch record. So luckily Record Store Day stuff is getting pressed on time for the delayed Record Store Day, it looks like, because some of our stuff's already getting to us. This is a little 3-inch record that is going to be on the releases coming out for June 12th. They do a little tiny sleeve, little tiny packaging, and I'll show off the poster. We're going to be doing some other sneak peeks of some of the Record Store Day stuff coming out. This is on the June 12th release. There's a poster that comes with the record. Kind of got your little comic book covers, like a storybook record. And then the second batch of releases is coming out July 17th. So mark your calendars for that, and we'll be showing some more off as we do some of our upcoming special Vinyl Happy Hour videos. So check those out, and please, like I said, if you want to pick up any of these other releases, get on our website right now. Those are available for in-store pickup or shipping. Plus, the Record Store Day releases will be in-store only from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on those dates, but we will have them on our website, anything available at the end of the day. So subscribe to the channel, definitely give us a like or comment on some stuff you're looking forward to for Record Store Day, and keep watching the videos. We'll do another one tomorrow. Cheers, guys.